Welcome, everyone, to episode 136 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, Tom, is getting on this monster train worth our time?
Come and ride the chain. Let's choo-choo ride it.
We'll see if anyone gets that reference. This episode, we are talking about Monster Train by Shiny Shoe, which developed this game back in May of 2020.
Just one shoe, Chris?
One shoe. One shoe is all it takes to make a Monster Train. And this game on the PC was 1.08 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
On the Series S, there is a mysterious 600 megabytes more. 1.7 gigabytes.
Oh, they added a little bit to the caboose in your Xbox version, I guess.
They're whole extra cars, it looks like, from the size difference.
Maybe, but, maybe Shiny Shoe can come on our show and talk about it. But
and bring their other shit.
Oh, yeah. But what kind of game is this?
I put deck building strategy.
Yeah, I put deck building roguelike.
It is a roguelike.
Yeah, it is. But there is strategy involved, so it could be.
When I hear roguelike, I think of like the more actiony games. I don't know why that is. Like, I suppose any game in which you die and do it over again and it's different is a roguelike.
I mean, they literally talk about runs, and I think the definition of a roguelike is there is some sort of run involved. You are going to die, and you're going to have to do this again. So
yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah. Oh, I like what you did there, Tom.
Completely accidental, I promise.
Completely accidental. But what is that game loop?
Okay, well, regardless of what you think the game is, complete multi-tier card battles to gain new cards and currency to upgrade your existing cards.
Okay. I just put choose the right card or asset, but it is still a card, to play to keep your pyre alive.
Ooh, yes, because the multi-tier card battle that I'm talking about is indeed to protect your pyre from those who would wish to do it harm.
Indeed. And those who wish to do it harm, well, we'll see if that's part of the things that we like. So let's get into those likes, though, Tom.
Well, yeah, it kind of is part of what I like. I like the opening cinematic and the plot, which is that you are denizens of hell. And there's an incursion from heaven, and they're trying to snuff out that last flame of hell. And you've put it on the choo-choo train, and you're trying to get it to safety.
Yeah, I was. It was definitely interesting to see that you're playing on the hell side of this.
Yeah, you're the bad guys.
Yeah, you're the bad guys.
Except the good guys are the bad guys.
The good guys are the bad. Hey, look, it's whoever wins is the hero of that story. So you're trying to be the hero of this story. You might not necessarily be a good person in whatever facet of history or whatever you want to look at, but
Are you telling me, Chris, that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view?
I mean, is it not the case? I mean, we could get into that, but I think we need to get on.
Wax philosophical about Obi-Wan Kenobi here. We could be here all night.
I mean, let's stay on track here, so to speak.
Bright and colorful graphics, right? It's easy to read, which I think is important. There are a lot of games that I play where I can't make heads or tails of the UI because it's in font that's so small. Yeah. This is not the case. Everything's very legible, which is important because you need to read a lot.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, I mean, I thought overall this game had a fairly intuitive system for a card game. They kind of start you on a particular deck. It's like, okay, here you go. This is kind of how you play, and off to the races you go. And I thought this, like, because it was an intuitive system, and I felt like there was like the carrot on the stick in this game was short enough for me to be like, I feel like I'm making progress in it.
Yes.
I don't know how you felt about it, but I think that's what it was for me.
I'm with you on that, definitely. I liked that you had kind of control over a lot of the things. It didn't feel quite so random. Obviously, there's randomness to it.
Yeah.
But their game has you making choices. So like you get you go down branching paths and you go, okay, are you going to go left or right? And you can look ahead and you can see what the left path is going to do for you. And you can look ahead and see what the right path is going to do for you.
Yeah.
And then you make a decision based on what you want to do to your deck, what kinds of cards you want to add to it, what you might want to upgrade, right? I think that's pretty cool. It's not just a matter of, okay, I have a 30 card deck. I've got some new cards. I have to toss ones.
Right.
It's not exactly that way. Some of the times what you're doing is going, I'm going to take this card that I already have and I'm going to improve it.
Yeah.
Which I guess in a digital space makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know how you would do that if this game was physical.
True.
And take a Sharpie out and write on your card.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I appreciate the fact that you had essentially a variety of play styles. You could play very much like a defensive minded card, like you could build a defensive minded deck. I played more of an offensive minded, where I was just trying to get as much damage out as possible. Like I didn't really care how much life my characters particularly had, but I was like, they're going to hit really hard. I'm going to do glass cannon as much as possible. So it was cool. And like the fact that was like, they allowed you to kind of play that way. There wasn't, I mean, but at the same time, I could see when you're going through the upgrade portions of this game, where you could potentially play more kind of safe, I guess, so to speak, like where you're just like adding more health or adding more armor consistently and stuff like that. So, that was cool.
Yeah. So I kind of went that way, where I added some really bulky dudes to my team and then buffed them so that they would stall the enemy, at a level. So and then kind of chip away at them with other characters, other cards.
Yeah, and kind of going back to the making progress, like if you win a particular round, they always like just give you new cards or like new artifacts. Artifacts are what stay with you during your particular run. So like that I think generally those artifacts are always going to be positives to you, right? Like I had one where every time an enemy would move a level, they'd be attacked for -2 or whatever. So it was great because then it would take out all the little minion guys, like the one really weak ones. So yeah, in that way it was great. But obviously
focus your attention on the big guys,
right? And then when the bosses come, it's like, all right, I got to make sure I hit them hard. So yeah, but yeah, and I thought the music was pretty good for what it was. Like it got you like. Got you going in terms of this train. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I one of the things that I want to mention is that it's kind of forgiving in that you can look at your deck, your draw pile, things like that during your match. If you don't remember kind of what your deck makeup is, you can review that and go, oh, okay, that's right, I do have this guy in there, or something like that. And you can also, which I very much appreciate, you can pause in the middle of one of these runs and come back to it later. So you're not, if you run out of time or something like that, and you're like, oh, I can't keep going here, it's not shut off and lose all your progress. It's, nope, I'm just basically going to save right here, and then I'll come back to this later.
I didn't realize you could do that. I don't know why. I saw an option to end the run. I didn't see an option to save or like pause this run. So that was, I'm surprised I didn't see that, but that's good to know. It's good to know that you could actually pause a particular run. So that's cool.
Do you have any more things that you liked before we start talking about things we maybe didn't like?
No, we can move on.
Okay. So I'm going to start by saying, it's a card game. I mean, that was apparent from the jump there. And I'll just be honest. When I saw it was a card game, I was not all that enthused.
Yeah, I agree. I was not too thrilled. And funny enough, Cowboy from Welcome to Game Corp has been trying to tell me to play this game for quite some time, put it on the podcast and all that stuff. And here we are talking about it. And yeah, I was not really looking forward to playing a card game because we've played quite a few card games, I think, and not many of them have stuck, at least in my mind. So it's an uphill battle for me. For sure.
Yeah.
And
ditto.
And while I thought the artwork was pretty good, it's something about it just felt kind of flash game, like Newgrounds or something.
Oh yeah, it screams mobile game.
Right.
The art, the animation, there's just like not enough frames.
Yeah, something about it was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I did have a dislike where I said you couldn't save your run, but clearly that I was a dum-dum and didn't realize you actually could save it. So
yeah, I can't walk you through step by step how to do it, but I remember it being very intuitive, and it made it to my likes pile, so it was something that stuck out for me.
Okay, yeah.
Other things that stuck out, I thought the tutorial felt pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
The game generally is kind of like, here you go, figure it out, and it's not a terribly hard game to figure out, so I kind of understand why they made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have liked a little bit more,
Yeah.
of a
I mean, I could see that. As bare bones as this was, it wasn't like our time with Astroneer. I'll say that much, because I thought that gave a lot of information. There was an info dump, but I felt like I learned nothing from those. Yeah. Like it was just like, here you go, and then have at it. Whereas here, like, they kind of gave you an idea of like how the mechanics are, and yes, it is a card-based game, so I was like, how much more do I have to learn? I'm sure, like, obviously the powers and stuff like that, what makes the most sense when you're building your deck, but I was okay with that. I did not like the fact that early on, and it is a roguelike, but you definitely felt weak. There was a moment in that game where you're just like, whatever I do, I am going to lose this run no matter what. So like you get to like, so I got to the boss, like the final boss, and I saw that the HP was like close to 1,000 hit points, and I was like, there's just literally no way I could beat them, because I had my characters just not ready, not good enough for this. So I was like, at that point, do I just end my run? But I feel like you have to go through it, just because you get the XP or whatever it is for the next particular run or whatnot. So, but again, because it's a roguelike, you lose a bunch of other stuff, right? Like you lose all the cool artifacts that you have. And I guess essentially the upgrades on those particular cards and stuff like that too. So what you keep is, I guess you keep you don't even keep the cards, do you? No, you don't. You don't keep those up. You
don't keep the deck.
I don't think so. I think the deck, I don't. When I tried to start another one, it didn't. I don't think it had all that stuff. So that was unfortunate. And those damn curse cards.
Yeah.
The curse cards were, I get it, just make the game more challenging, but whew, like if you don't burn those cards, if you don't use them, like how much they can totally take you out of a game, and it's frustrating. But I get it. It's part of the game. It's trying to get you to think a little bit more about what you're trying to do, who you have to take out, because they're the ones that are like, because there are particular characters that will give those particular curses to you. So, and I know this is way into our dislikes or whatnot, but I guess really quick, like we kind of touched on this. You have 3 levels that you are trying to that you have these enemies that will progress up, and you have the top level, the 4th level, which is your pyre, your heart, your life, whatever you want to call it. And their objective is to reach the top. You're trying to stop them before they get there. And every once in a while, is it every mission or every level where there's like a boss? Every level had a boss, right? I believe so. Yeah. It's just that their HP and their particular abilities change every time. So you're just trying to build or create enough stopping power so that you can survive to your next run. So that was that. Any other dislikes there, Tom?
I think this is the kind of game, I mean, I said it from the beginning, it's a strategy game, right? So there's a lot of kind of mental math that you're doing while you're playing the game. It's a game that makes you think. You do have to make tactical choices. Right. And if you mess it up, you will pay for it. If you attack the wrong guys, you waste your turns on things, or don't burn the curse cards. There's definitely like an optimal way to play this.
Yes.
And you will kind of be punished if you don't do it correctly. And on top of that, because of that, it creates, at least for me, a decision paralysis where as you're going down, and now it's like, okay, I've got to decide, am I going to upgrade my characters? I'm going to upgrade the magic that I do. Who's going to get the buff? Do I put it all on one card? Do I spread it out across a bunch of different cards? Like, all of these decisions can very much matter, as you play. So the fear or the am I making the right choice is very real here. It's not necessarily very fun depending on what your play style is.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess the flip side of it is because like you can play a particular style on a run, right? If you make a mistake, the next time you go back that like you do another run, you can be like, I'm not going to particularly choose that style or that That's upgrade fair. Or whatever it is.
True.
And so, yeah, I mean, and I didn't really write this down here, but as much as each particular level was short, the run itself can be pretty long.
Yes.
I don't know how else to explain, but and again, like, because I was thinking that I didn't have an opportunity to save in between. Like, I was just frustrated at the fact that, like, oh man, like I have to complete all of this before I can actually put this game down or whatever. So that was a little frustrating about, but now I know. But any other thoughts here, Tom?
So if the game isn't hard enough for you, there are challenge modes built into the game. I didn't try them, but they have timed modes. They have like daily modes. They have community-based challenges.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of content there if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
Apparently, there are over 300 cards and more than 90 artifacts.
Wow.
And then on top of that, you have DLC. So it's quite a lot of cards to learn,
Yeah.
And obviously you can build a deck that suits you.
Yeah.
Just like any other CCG, I guess,
Yeah.
And the Shiny Shoe also makes a co-op roguelike RPG called Inkbound, which, so if a lot of people really like Monster Train, so it might be worth checking out if they don't realize that they made
Is that before this game or this came out after?
I think Inkbound is after. Monster Train was first. Inkbound was a sophomore attempt.
Cool. Good to know. And also, this game does have online multiplayer. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, the community one, is that where you can make your own like run? Essentially,
to my knowledge,
yeah. So that's pretty neat that you could do that. And this does have Xbox Cloud saves, Xbox Cloud enabled with touch controls. So that's always nice. So you can play this game, Tom, on your mobile device without any controller needed.
It feels like the game that should be able to be played that way.
Right.
It'd be weird if you couldn't.
Agreed. And with that agreement, though,
yes,
is this a train that we're staying on or hopping on?
Well, I think we'll get into that, but first,
we do want to thank our sponsor, cdkeys.com, for helping support the show. And you can help support the show by clicking that lovely link from cdkeys.com and checking out their great stuff that's out there. Game Pass subscriptions, games for sometimes even 90% off, which is great. So it's a big percent. And, especially with the times that we are in where things are getting more and more expensive. So check that out, cdkeys.com. Click that link below in the podcast description or the YouTube description. So thanks. Save some money. Yes. And let's see if we're saving this game from the trash pile. So Tom, what are your thoughts here?
Okay, so my hour went by very quickly, and I'm going to admit it, Chris, I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is I don't think I'll ever turn it on again. So I think it was fun to play.
Right.
It doesn't compel me at all. I guess there is a story to it, but come on.
Right.
It's not a story I need to learn,
Sure.
I'm not that captivated. And just the whole card-based game, the whole card game thing, the deck building thing, it's just not my thing.
But now I see that you're not compelled to turn on your Series S for this, but being that it is available on a mobile device.
I think playing this on mobile seems like the right way to play this. If I was going to make a recommendation, I don't really play mobile games, which is an interesting thing. The closest thing is maybe like the Switch.
Sure.
But even that, like, I'd rather sit on the couch and play that docked.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe you're right. Maybe I should give it a spin on mobile, see if it grabs me there. Maybe it'll be the first mobile game that gets its claws.
Yeah. Fair enough. So
how about you?
I will say I am shocked how much I actually found myself enjoying this game. Honestly, I know a lot of people love this game and have again told me to try this because it's that good. It was a fairly fast-paced game, and to be honest, I did want to complete my run. So like after that hour, I did continue the rest of my run because I didn't realize that I could save it. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to keep playing this. And I did. I kept playing it and I had a good time. I wanted to keep going and do another run after it. This is, Tom, this is probably one of a few roguelike games, roguelike and card-based games, Tom.
Yeah.
That I actually enjoy. So good on you, Shiny Shoe. Even with the, roguelike elements of this game and the damn curse cards, I was enjoying myself. So
yeah, it's well designed. There's no argument from me there. Like the multi-tiered thing is cool. Mm-hmm. The tactical nature of it is cool. You know, if you like that sort of stuff. If you are into collectible card games, there are 300 cards. There's tons of cards there. So
yeah, absolutely.
I get it. I get why people like this for sure.
Yeah, well done. Well done. And those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now at TC1H1D. Or we're even on Threads too at TC1H1D. And shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com or check out our streams. We stream this on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, try to send a comment down below. And, if we happen to be there to respond, we'll do our best there. 1H1D is part of that QTB network with all that cool gaming content. So if you want to check what else QTB does, check that out at quitthebuild.com/network. So, Tom.
So we're just going to go now, right? We just leave?
We're going to go right after we figure out what we're playing next.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
It is important. So we're going to click that surprising button and see what it's going to tell us to play next. So here we go.
What's the destination of this monster train?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and this destination is Besiege. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
Besiege. Besiege.
It's a SAT word.
Yes, it's an SAT word. So that is our next episode. And that is it for this episode. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.